Namaste. Welcome you all and thank you for watching this video. This is NIOS educational video. Today we are going to learn EVS subject. Code for this subject is 333 and this video is for senior secondary level. We are doing lesson 3 and name of the lesson is on the screen as well. It is degradation of natural environment. What is natural environment? Trees, air, sand, all these things which we see around us, they are all natural, and we will read about the degradation of natural environment. This video is part 2. In the previous video of this lesson, we already covered part 1. And in part 1, we covered few points. The points are available on the screen as well. The first point we discussed in first video was we understood the concept of environment, and also we understood the environment degradation and what are the factors that causes it. We understood all those points related to environment degradation. There is degradation of land, there is degradation of water, degradation of soil. So all these things, slowly as time is progressing, things are getting depleted because of population of because there is so much population growing on earth. The second point which we discussed in previous video is about reckless exploitation of natural resources, which leads to environment degradation. And the third point, which is the last point, we also understood the impact of population growth on the environment. Because of population growth, there was lack of space, and more space was needed for making home, for fulfilling the needs of the human. They need medicine, home, all those things which a normal human needs, which leads to depletion of the natural resources from our earth. These were the points which we discussed in first video. And this is part 2. Just after watching part 1, you can continue this video. Here in this video also we will be continuing the lesson. The lesson name is same, degradation of natural environment. The topic you can see on screen, it is explaining the causes of deforestation. It has 5 points. We will understand all these points one by one. The first point is development activities is a cause of deforestation. Humans need road, building, schooling, railway lands, forests. So to meet all these needs, lands are cleared. The second cause of deforestation is the need for timber and wood. Human society, they need all these wood material for making different furnitures, for construction work, and also for firewood for cooking. For making different things from wood. So because of this, many trees were deforested from the forest. And the next point is the need for pastures. The fourth cause of deforestation is shifting cultivation. Forests were cleared for crop cultivation by burning the fallen tree, and crops are grown for few years and then abandoned to let it regain its fertility. Therefore, a new forest area is cleared for cultivation, and this cycle is getting repeated after a particular number of years, because the cultivation land needs to be shifted. So this is also one of the reasons that deforestation is happening. So this is the fourth reason of deforestation. And this is kind of cycle which is getting repeated. And fifth point is a cause for deforestation is there is a need for agriculture. Now let us understand the consequences of deforestation. We all know that forests are found all over the world, except the polar regions, because of the geographical reasons. Forests are not found at those 2 points. And originally, forests covered 1/3 of the land area. Since the beginning of human evolution, the human community have depended on the forest resources. As the primitive human used to get leaves for covering the body and fruits for fulfilling the need of hunger, then also to get wood for making some firework. So all these things humans were getting from the forest only. Forests are nature's major processors of solar energy. It can be for developmental activities. It can be wood for fire, also timber, pastures, and also for shifting cultivation. Forests provide habitat for diverse kinds of organisms, including large wild animals. We all know that in forest there are various wild animals lives, also the birds, and besides birds there are some different aquatic animals as well. So there is a big community which comes under wild animals. And primitive humans too lived in forest, and they were also completely dependent on forest for survival till they took to farming, and then cutting of trees in the forest started. And slowly, when that cutting of trees increases, that changed into deforestation. So now that is why that cutting of trees in forest is called deforestation. And this deforestation has taken place for various purposes at an alarming rate in different parts of the world, resulting in severe loss of wild animals and plants. Forests have been cleared for so many reasons. Let us now understand what are those reasons. Here we will discuss mainly 5 reasons, and then later on we will also understand them in detail. The first reason is developmental activities. As humans began leading a settled life, crop fields, building, roads, industries, schools, hospitals, railways and irrigation canals, etc. All these were the need of the human to lead a settled life. All these things became the necessity for the developmental activities. And forests were cleared to meet the needs for land, to meet the land needs for above developmental activities. The second main reason is the need for timber and wood. We all know that wood is used for building constructions, making furniture, and other articles for human use. So trees that yield wood grow in forests and were cut down for timber. So use of firewood for cooking and heating, etc., also contribute to deforestation. Use of firewood for cooking and for heating purpose. So these are the basic needs for which the primitive human decided to use wood. And slowly that need was increasing, so that is why the deforestation started. Third point is the need for pastures. We all know that forests are cleared to grow grass and converted into grassland for grazing by cattle. The fourth cause for deforestation is the need for shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation is a system of crop cultivation. It involves cleaning of forests and burying the fallen trees to clear the land for raising crops and move to another place. And it is a continuous process. And because of this reason, every year a new forest area is cleared for cultivation the same. And this cycle of clearing the land and then leaving the cultivated area, it gets repeated every year because they need to shift their cultivated area. It is getting repeated in cycles. Let us take a break here.
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने हम
अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने
धन साधन समय की सीमा से
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने हम, अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बात,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, स्वयं बने हम,
Now let us continue. Welcome you all. As we were discussing about the consequences of deforestation, let us now understand the points which comes under the consequence list. The first consequence of deforestation is soil erosion. The second consequence is landslides. The third consequence of deforestation is silting. The fourth consequence of deforestation is loss of wild habitat. Fifth consequence is deforestation. Sixth consequence is loss of CO2 sink. The seventh consequence is pollution. And the eighth consequence is loss of medicinal and other useful plants. We will understand all these 8 points in detail now. So here you have the first point. Soil erosion. We know that trees intercepts rainfall. They hold the soil. And when deforestation occurs, then cutting of trees and removal of plants leads to soil erosion. Plants' roots hold the soil in place, and with loss of protecting cover of plants, the topsoil, which is rich in organic matter, that topsoil is washed away. And then the soil lose its fertility. So that is known as soil erosion. The second point is the landslides. In the mountain areas, the soil erosion ultimately causes landslides. Also in the hilly areas as well. This is because the roots that held the soil in position are no more there. This is the third point. As the loose soil from deforested place, the place which is deforested and there is nothing which can hold the soil, the land gets washed away with rain and it causes silting of rivers and lakes. Fourth point is loss of wild habitat. We know that wild animals live in forests, and if trees are cut down, then all those animals will lose their habitat. And losing a habitat means their life is in danger. And slowly they will extinct. So that is why cutting forest means loss of the habitat for those animals. Fifth point, pollution. When trees are cut to use for making furniture or paper, the sawmills and the paper mills pollute water in which they dump the waste. So the waste which is coming from factories and from the different places, that is thrown into the river, and there are air pollution, water pollution, different kinds of polluted material is thrown in the environment which is open. So pollution is also a consequence. Sixth point is deforestation. We know that deforestation results in change of climate, and we know that trees make the surroundings humid. Loss of trees lead to loss of humidity because the transpiration from plants make rain clouds. So, if the rainfall is reduced, then there will be scarcity of water, and that is due to deforestation. Seventh point is loss of CO2 sink. Pollutants released by industries, CO2, which is carbon dioxide, it is taken up by trees and plants. But if the forests are denuded and there is no tree, then this CO2 sink is lost. And CO2, it will get collected in the environment. The eighth point, the loss of medicinal and other useful plants. Unique medicinal plants grow in certain forests. And they are lost due to deforestation. Like there are different aromatic herbs, rubber trees, and other useful plants. These are also lost due to the deforestation. So, the forest destruction leads to large-scale environmental degradation. As we all know, that rubber is a plant, rubber which we use for erasing purpose, that we get from plant, and also the clothes we get, all the clothes we wear, that clothes we get from plants, as plants are the raw material. So if there are no trees, then how can we use them for our own work? So that is why deforestation is not good for us. What we have learned so far can be summarized in the form of what you have learned. This is the first point. We depend on environment for survival because plants give us oxygen to breathe, food to eat, and water to drink. And we also get fiber, medicines, fuel, etc. from environment. As the growth of human population is increasing, spread of different things became a reason for the environmental degradation. The first one is depletion of natural resources. And the second reason is pollution of the environment. The pollution of air, pollution of water, and pollution of soil. So the pollution of environment and depletion of natural resources, These are the two main consequences. Natural resources have been depleted through deforestation, and also the excessive use of fossil fuels, mining, etc. And air has been polluted by toxic gases emitting from motor vehicles, toxic wastes from the factories. They were discharged into rivers and different water bodies. And as the better medical facilities and food for all has increased longevity and cut down the infant mortality. As we all know that due to COVID, there were many deaths, but because of improvement in the medical condition, medical fertility, medical area, the death rate has been decreased. So this has resulted in increase in population. So we need to grow more trees whenever we cut the trees. Demand for increased population, like land for housing and cultivation of food crops and industrialization, and fossil fuels as source of energy resources for industries and homes, groundwater, have been depleted, and air, water, and soil is polluted. There is one important word which we need to understand. It is biodiversity. If we split this word into two words, then we will get bio and diversity. So now here we will talk about loss of biodiversity. We know that there are different animals on earth, different organisms, and loss of biodiversity also a consequence of the deforestation. So when humans have cut down trees and cleared forests to obtain firewood and timber and to get land for agriculture and human settlement, for fulfilling the different needs of human, the trees were cut down. As also there was need for land for making home for human. So deforestation has resulted in serious loss of biodiversity. So we all must remember that the two most valuable possessions we have on earth are human life and clean, healthy environment. But the degraded environment has spelt doom for environment. Till now we have understood the lesson. Now I hope you will be able to do some questions yourself. So we will do exercises. We have some questions. Yes, answers are also there, but first you try to find answers yourself. Let us begin. Question 1. You have to state any two types of environmental degradation which is caused by humans. There are many points which you can mention in this question. So any two can be written, like deforestation, which is done by human. Then also the depletion of fossil fuel. This is also a environmental degradation act. And this is also done by human. Then depletion of minerals also, which is done by human. And then pollution of air, pollution of water, pollution of soil also. You have to mention any 2 points. Question 2. Give one reason for increase in human population. The answer for this question is better medical facilities and also the availability of food. Question 3. Why rapid growth of world population is a cause for alarm? The answer is because natural resources are limited and degradation of environment is a threat to survival. Question 4. What is deforestation? Cutting down trees to clear forest is known as deforestation. Question 5. Give 2 reasons why trees are cut down by humans. There are various reasons. One reason is for cultivation, another is need for timber, and need of fuel, need of wood, building houses, etc. Question 6. State any two consequences of deforestation. You have to write any two consequences. The answer is biodiversity loss. It is a consequence of deforestation. Many organisms may extinct. Then also soil erosion is also a consequence. And then loss of CO2 sink is also a consequence of deforestation. Question 7. Why do wild animals become endangered due to deforestation? Because forest is a natural habitat of wild animals. If forests are cut down, then they will be in danger. Question 8. Why does deforestation cause soil erosion? The answer is roots hold soil in place. Whenever there is rain and the deforestation has occurred, then roots will not be able to hold the soil. So far, we have understood the lesson, and also we did some exercise questions and answers we tried. I hope you all understood them well. Thank you. Namaste.